The events unfolding in Ecuador right now are absolutely shocking to say the least. In fact, the situation right now is so bad that their neighbors Peru have had to order the immediate deployment of their police force to the border to prevent any instability from spilling over into their country. A drug lord who ran Ecuador's most powerful cartel from behind bars is the man responsible for causing a national crisis with a state of emergency declared across the South American country. Despite being incarcerated in 2011, the walls around his prison cell failed to prevent Adolfo Macias Villamor from successfully operating the feared Los Coneros gang, which has been linked to a lot of crimes including drug trafficking and murder. Yet his escape from prison has caused widespread chaos, with President Daniel Noboa forced to impose a nightly curfew after Ecuadorian gangsters unleashed a wave of deadly violence. More than 130 prison staff are currently being held hostage by inmates across 5 jails, while police officers have lost their lives and bombs have been detonated. In one particularly shocking incident, masked gunmen stormed a public TV studio during a live broadcast in the city of Guayaquil and forced terrified employees to the ground. While they were eventually overpowered by soldiers and arrested, the footage of the cowering presenters has made headlines across the globe. Known as Fito, the notorious 44-year-old gang leader is believed to be the source of the most recent surge of violence after he successfully escaped from the La Regional Prison on 7th January. He had been due to be transferred to La Roca, a smaller prison with fewer inmates, but a government spokesman said that he might have been tipped off as early as Christmas. While the details of how he absconded are unclear, 2 prison guards have since been charged with assisting him. It has been reported that the infamous criminal had a medical checkup on Christmas Day and that a body double may have replaced him. Speaking of his escape, former Minister of the Interior Jose Serrano said that Fito left through the front door. Formed in 2005, the Los Coneros has become the most fearsome cartel in Ecuador and has links to criminal organizations across Colombia and Mexico, including the Sinaloa cartel. Since the 2020 killing of its previous leader Jorge Zambrano, the group has fallen into a cycle of violence with splinter groups fighting over territory and control. This includes within prison facilities, which are controlled by inmates and cartel loyalties rather than guards or the security forces. While individual cells can be rented from the more powerful inmates, drugs and alcohol can also be easily smuggled inside, while different cartels will have control over certain wings. Through wielding his influence, Fito was reportedly able to continue operating the Los Coneros from his own cell, which had been transformed into a private bunker. He has since been able to gain a diploma in criminal law and has amassed a fortune of $23 million through shell companies and illegal activities. In a bizarre music video recorded by his daughter last year, the bearded gang leader can be seen petting his cockerel and relaxing with fellow inmates, with murals and a bejeweled horseshoe adorning the walls. Despite being incarcerated for over a decade, he has maintained a relationship with his glamorous girlfriend Veronica Briones Zambrano, who was pictured leaving his cell in the middle of a prison riot in 2021. She was caught while escaping dressed as a guard but identified herself as Fito's girlfriend and admitted she had been staying with him for a week. In an interview with Ecuadorian journalists 3 years ago, Fito warned that any attempts to move him or other close associates will trigger a sudden death scenario with multiple prison riots. Gang fights and rebellions have increasingly occurred in recent years, with 79 inmates losing their lives in February 2021 after riots broke out in 4 prisons, while 123 lost their lives in Littoral Prison the following year. With cocaine recently reaching a record high, Ecuador's large ports along the Pacific coast have led it to become an attractive hub for criminal organizations who are hoping to explore new smuggling avenues. This latest bout of violence has triggered a 60-day state of emergency in Ecuador, with the president ordering that criminal gangs be neutralized. The president, Mr. Noboa, also announced that Ecuador will begin to deport foreign prisoners, especially Colombians, to reduce the number of inmates. While schools have closed and streets have emptied, 8 people have since lost their lives and 3 injured in attacks linked to criminal gangs on Tuesday, while 2 police officers also lost their lives in the hands of armed criminals in the nearby town of Nobol. The cartel in Ecuador is literally at war with the police, and things are only going to get worse before they get better. Yet while carnage is consuming the streets of Ecuador, the location of the man at the center of the chaos remains a mystery. So keep it locked on the channel, and as always, don't forget to like and subscribe as we continue to update you on the story as it unfolds. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.